Voting Theory Class 7 Video 3. In this video we're going to talk about a different type of tactical voting. This time we're going to talk about pushover tactical voting. So before I begin, I will warn you that pushover tactical voting is significantly more complex than compromise tactical voting. In particular, pushover is a lot harder to implement in the real world than compromise. Compromise tactical voting is something that happens in pretty much every plurality election. People end up compromising, whereas pushover is much harder to actually successfully implement. So let's just go straight to the definition. It's a really abstract definition, and I think once we do examples it will help you, but let's try and look at the definition first. So pushover voting is when a voter ranks a perceived weak alternative higher, in the hopes that they make it to the final round, where the weak alternative is easily defeated by the voter's true favourite alternative. Okay, so the idea is pushover tactical voting usually only happens in multi-round voting systems. So pushover, it sort of goes hand in hand with multi-round voting systems, and we've done a bunch of multi-round voting systems. So for example, there's the 2-round runoff, the instant runoff, and the Baldwin. So if you see any of these, you should maybe think pushover. It's not the only thing that they're susceptible to, but it's the thing which they're perhaps most susceptible to. Okay, so in pushover tactical voting, the idea is you want to prop up a weak alternative, like artificially support a weak alternative so that they make it to the final round, where your true favourite alternative can easily beat them in the final. Okay, let's do an example to see what's going on. So if we look at this example right here, here's some voting profile, and the voting system is the instant runoff. So the first thing I want to do is I want to know what's the social ranking under the instant runoff. Well, let's apply the instant runoff voting system. So A has 9 top preference votes, B has 5, and C has 6. So that means that we eliminate B. Like this. Okay, I'll write this out. We eliminate B. Okay. And now let's recount how many top preference votes everyone has. So I'm not going to redraw the table, so ideally you get better at doing this in your own head. So how many top preference votes does A have? There's 0 plus 9 plus 0. Okay, 0 plus 9 plus 0, which is 9, and C has 5 plus 6 plus 0, which is 11. So under the instant runoff voting system, the social ranking would be C beats A beats B. Okay, and if, say, you were one of the people who wanted A to win, and you think, how can you tactically vote to get A to win? Well, maybe you look at this outcome and you think C beat A in the final. So if there was some way to make it so that C didn't make it to the final, right? If there's a way to tactically vote so C is eliminated in the first round, that might increase the chance that A wins in the final round. Okay, right now B is eliminated in the first round, but if you could tactically vote to make B and A in the final round instead of instead of A and C, maybe that will improve the chance of A winning. So what do? Well, let's erase these red marks. What happens is two voters who would have voted ACB, they change their vote and they sort of artificially prop up B. So they want A to win, okay? They want A to win. But their concern is, like, currently A goes up against C in the final round, and C is too strong to beat A. But if they support B just a little bit, B might be able to knock out C in the first round. So let's see what happens now. So now A has 0 plus 7, which is 7. B has 2 plus 5, which is 7. And C has 6 plus 0, which is 6. So that means we eliminate C, like this. We eliminate C, okay? And the new social ranking, the new top preference count is going to be as follows. So A is going to have 0 plus 7 plus 6, which is 13. And B is going to have 2 plus 5 plus 0, which is 7. So the new social ranking is A beats B beats C. Okay? And this is good news for the 2 voters who changed their vote from here to here. This is good news because now A is the winner. Okay? A has gone from being in second place to first place. So this is tactical voting because the people who voted insincerely have improved the outcome of the election for themselves. Okay? This is a really complex type of tactical voting, right? It's very hard to know exactly what to do to change the outcome of the election. And it's also, it highlights a crazy fact about how like volatile some voting systems and voting profiles are. And for example, what I mean is, if you consider C, like, you know, the voters for C didn't change anything, but C went from going first place to last place. The only thing that changed is a couple of voters who originally voted A for their top preference changed to vote B as their top preference. But just by doing that, C has gone from first place to last place, which is sort of a crazy outcome for this change. Okay, so this is pushover tactical voting, and in this particular example, you would say that B is the pushover. Okay, it's the alternative which you artificially support, like you artificially give support to B in the hopes that B makes it to the final round where A can beat B. So A is like this pushover. You artificially prop them up to make them get to the final round where you know that you can easily beat them. Okay, that's the end of this example, and that's the end of this video.